Shedeur Sanders just turned his very first NFL game into a wake-up call for the entire league, and it left 143 teams wishing they could hit rewind. Deion Sanders Jr. captured that perfectly. His reaction wasn't a wild celebration or emotional speech. It was a simple, pointed question. Why are you all so surprised? That one line spoke with the confidence of someone who saw this moment coming years ago.
We both get cool next week.
For Deion Jr., this wasn't luck or a hot streak. It was the result of discipline, relentless training, and a refusal to let hype replace hard work. To him, Shedeur's success was never in doubt. It was the natural outcome of the preparation meeting opportunity. On the field, Shedeur's demeanor matched that mindset. No wide-eyed rookie nerves, no over-the-top celebrations. Even between quarters, he simply said, "I'm warmed up." That's it. Calm, collected, and ready for more. Before we go deeper into how he proved everyone wrong, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more people see this story and keeps you updated on every step of Shedeur's rise. Former NFL star Chad Ochocinco Johnson echoed Deion Jr.'s sentiment. He said this wasn't a sudden transformation. It was the same Shedeur Sanders who had dominated at Colorado and Jackson State, now proving it on the biggest stage in football. Ochocinco pointed to Shedeur's ability to stay composed in the pocket. He highlighted his comfort going through progressions, his precision throws, and his decision-making under pressure. For Ochocinco, this was Shedeur doing what he had always done. Johnson later offered a prediction that Sanders will get off to a quick start against the Panthers. "Watch what happens," Johnson said. "I guarantee he marched their expletive right down the expletive field in that first drive. I guarantee you that's how it plays out, marching right down the field. If he doesn't play well, I'll hold him accountable." And for critics, Ochocinco had a warning. He predicted they would try to downplay the debut by saying it was against the Panthers' second team. His response was simple. Shedeur wasn't playing with his first-team offense either. He reminded everyone that Shedeur was working with backups, 2s and 3s, even players fighting for a roster spot. Despite that, he still delivered a performance that turned heads. If he'd had all his starters, Ochocinco said, the numbers would have been even better. He even singled out David Njoku's presence, noting that a player of his caliber changes the game. With the right weapons, Shedeur's ceiling could be much higher. The debut, in Ochocinco's eyes, was just the start. Skip Bayless took the conversation further. He called the debut historic, but also humiliating for the NFL teams that passed on him. 143 chances came and went before Cleveland took him with the 144th pick. According to Skip, the Browns didn't even see Shedeur as their future starter. He said they took him for publicity, not potential. It was, in his words, a move to spark attention because of his famous last name. Skip claimed the draft drama wasn't random. He suggested it was part of a calculated effort to undervalue Shedeur and even drag down his father's reputation. But instead of breaking under that pressure, Shedeur used it as fuel. When he stepped onto the field, he showed that discipline, talent, and belief can break through any narrative. For Skip, this wasn't just a rookie debut. It was Shedeur sending a message to the entire league. You got it wrong. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski is known for keeping his praise measured, but even he couldn't hide his excitement. Every big play from Shedeur seemed to pull a grin from the coach's face. "Really pleased with the effort all night," Stefanski said. "I thought our guys were flying around. I thought they were competing at an extremely high level. Offense, defense, and special teams. It was really fun to watch those guys throughout the night." After the game, Stefanski told the media that Shedeur's leadership had been clear from the first snap. He credited the offense as a whole, but emphasized Shedeur's poise and command. Still, he reminded everyone there was plenty to work on. Even with that praise, Stefanski stopped short of naming Shedeur the official starter. That raised eyebrows. In the NFL, talent doesn't always guarantee opportunity. Politics and quiet power plays often decide who gets the spotlight. If you think Shedeur has already done enough to earn that starting spot, drop a QB1 in the comments right now. Let's see how many of you believe he's ready to lead this team for good. Many great players have been slowed down not by lack of skill, but by forces behind the scenes, and race has long been part of that conversation. Yet watching Shedeur's debut, it's hard to imagine those forces holding him back for long. Shedeur's skill is too sharp, his focus too unshakable, and his leadership too valuable. He plays with the maturity of a veteran, and that's not something you can ignore for long. Through all the noise, he stayed humble. No taunting, no theatrics, no over-the-top celebrations. His post-game interview was as grounded as his play on the field. Shedeur said the best part of being a quarterback is leading your team. The key, he explained, is staying consistent no matter what the game throws at you. Good or bad, you stay level-headed and keep moving forward. That mindset doesn't just appear overnight. It's built over years of being tested, of facing pressure and refusing to break. It's the mark of a leader, not just a player. Analyst Emmanuel Acho broke down Shedeur's performance in detail. He highlighted one moment in particular, a 3rd and 9 against a 5-man rush and man coverage. Shedeur recognized that no one had contained and no defender was watching him. Instead of forcing a risky throw, he calmly escaped the pocket, picked up the first down with his legs, and slid to safety. Acho pointed out that plays like this show Shedeur's complete game. He can win with his arm, his legs, or his mind. That adaptability makes him one of the most dangerous young quarterbacks in the league. By the time the game ended, the narrative was clear. Deion Jr.'s confidence, Ochocinco's defense, Skip Bayless's challenge to the doubters, Stefanski's cautious praise, and Acho's technical respect all pointed to the same truth. This was not a fluke. The people closest to Shedeur expected this all along. To them, it was the first chapter in a story they knew was coming. Still, the question remains, will the NFL politics that undervalued him in the draft try to slow him down again? Or has his talent already broken through that wall? Shedeur is not just playing to silence critics. He's playing to raise the standard of what a quarterback can be. Calm under pressure, humble in victory, relentless in preparation, and versatile in attack. His debut was more than numbers. It was proof that the league can still be surprised, even when the signs were there all along. The next step is proving that this wasn't just one great performance. Fans wonder what's next. Is this the start of a legendary career? Has Shedeur's full potential even been seen? Did the league make a big mistake? If you followed him since college, comment day one. One thing's clear in a safe league, Shedeur played fearlessly. All he needed was preparation and confidence. If his debut is a sign of things to come, the NFL is about to learn what Deion Jr. already knew. You should never be surprised when greatness shows up. If you're enjoying this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs to see Shedeur's story.
The Cleveland Browns defeated the Carolina Panthers 30-10 in their preseason opener Friday night at Bank of America Stadium. The victory belonged to rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders, who threw 2 touchdown passes in his highly anticipated NFL debut.
Jake DeLong and Steve Smith with us tonight. Sanders in and able to complete for a first down.
Sanders completed 14 of 23 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns, while adding 19 rushing yards on 4 carries. 23-year-old finished with a 106.8 passer rating without throwing an interception. Sanders entered this game carrying the weight of unexpected disappointment. Draft analysts projected him as a top 5 pick, potentially even top 10 selection. Instead, he fell all the way to the 5th round, where Cleveland selected him 144th overall. The dramatic fall stemmed from pre-draft interviews that allegedly went poorly. Teams questioned his attitude and professionalism during the evaluation process. Sanders became the 2nd quarterback Cleveland drafted, following 3rd-round selection Dillon Gabriel. His father, Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, made a bold prediction before kickoff. "He's going to be a problem after tonight, I promise you that," the Colorado head coach said. The Browns faced a quarterback crisis heading into their preseason opener. Joe Flacco, the presumptive Week 1 starter, remained healthy but was held out of the game. Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel both battled hamstring injuries that kept them sidelined. The injury situation forced Cleveland to sign Tyler Huntley just Tuesday before the game. Sanders had been working as the 4th quarterback throughout training camp. He never received reps with the first-team offense during practice. Coach Kevin Stefanski announced that Sanders would receive approximately 50 snaps. The rookie would get his most extensive work with 2nd and 3rd-string players he had practiced with throughout training camp. Sanders arrived at the stadium accompanied by a reaper and scythe, playing up the spectacle of his debut. The dramatic entrance matched his father's flair for showmanship. The opening drive produced disappointing results. Sanders went 3 and out on his first possession. His first pass sailed high and incomplete, intended for veteran Deontay Johnson. His first completion came on 3rd down to Caden Davis, but fell short of the first down marker. The second drive showed promise before stalling. Sanders displayed mobility with a 10-yard scramble on 3rd and 9, converting for a first down. 2 plays later, he overthrew wide-open Dylan Sampson on a rollout. The drive ended when Sanders threw the ball away under pressure on 4th and 1 Shedeur. I did some good and bad. I know moving forward I won't do the same mistakes twice, whatever the decision is, Sanders told reporters after the game. The Panthers scored first on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Bryce Young to Jalen Coker. The scoring drive featured a spectacular catch by rookie Tetaiora McMillan before a fight between Xavier Legette and Rayshon Jenkins led to both players being ejected. Sanders caught his first break when Trevor Etienne muffed a punt return. The Browns recovered at the Carolina 10-yard line, setting up excellent field position. Sanders capitalized immediately. On the first play of the second quarter, he rolled left on a play-action bootleg. He waited patiently before floating a perfect pass between 2 defenders to Davis in the back corner of the end zone. The 7-yard touchdown tied the game 7-7. Yes, Lord, yes, at Shedeur Sanders. Deion Sanders posted on social media after the score. The second touchdown drive showcased Sanders' growing confidence. He completed a spectacular 30-yard pass to Luke Flourier, who made a tremendous one-handed catch down the right sideline. The completion came with a defender in Sanders' face as he rolled right and delivered the ball perfectly. Sanders finished the drive with a 12-yard strike to Davis over the middle. The accurate pass gave Cleveland a 14-7 halftime lead with 1:58 remaining in the second quarter. Sanders completed 11 of 18 passes for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He posted a 113.9 passer rating with no turnovers. He also carried the ball 3 times for 20 yards. I wasn't nervous, so I didn't really have too much adrenaline, Sanders explained. It was just getting comfortable. That's all it is. There were plenty of games before I was nervous, but I felt like I knew the answers to the test. The performance drew immediate attention beyond football. NBA star LeBron James posted his reaction on social media. That young man looking good out there. Keep going up, head down on the grind, and head high to the most high. James followed up with another post defending the significance of preseason performance. And I don't want to hear that it's only preseason BS. Cause if he was out there not going in, y'all would be on his butt about it. So give credit and grace lames. Sanders cooled off slightly coming out of halftime. The Browns punted on back-to-back possessions as Sanders struggled with command. He took a sack from Damani Richardson on a safety blitz during his first drive of the second half. Pre-snap penalties created a 3rd and 1/8 situation. Sanders completed his pass to Sal Cannella, but well short of the sticks, forcing another punt. Sanders recovered with his 3rd touchdown drive of the night. Nick Needham intercepted Andy Dalton to set up Cleveland at midfield. Sanders completed both of his pass attempts on the drive, including a 25-yard connection to tight end Brendan Bates. The drive ended with Gage Larvadain scoring on a 4-yard jet sweep. Sanders had successfully led 3 scoring drives in nearly 3 full quarters of action. Tyler Huntley entered the game with 2:12 remaining in the third quarter, ending Sanders' night after 45 plays. Sanders demonstrated several positive traits during his debut. He showed poise in the pocket and excellent accuracy on both touchdown passes. His mobility served him well, particularly on the 10-yard scramble that converted a crucial 3rd down. The rookie also displayed questionable decision-making at times. He nearly threw an interception when targeting Gage Larvadain in traffic during the second quarter. On the following play, he scrambled unnecessarily instead of throwing the ball away, running out of bounds for a loss. "I'm uncomfortable being uncomfortable," Sanders said. "I got pockets of finding my rhythm, and I gotta get into that quicker. But overall, I felt like me out there." Sanders acknowledged taking 2 sacks during the game. He admitted there was some sloppiness in his performance despite the positive results. Kevin Stefanski expressed satisfaction with Sanders' debut performance. "Honestly, I'm pleased with the way Shedeur played. I'm pleased with the way the offense operated tonight." The coach remained non-committal about how the performance might impact the quarterback competition. He said, "We're really just focused on developing our players. We're in evaluation mode. I'm pleased with where the guys are, but I'm not diving into a quarterback competition." Sanders maintained perspective about his future role. "I just think about when I get out there just doing what I gotta do. Everything else is out of my hand, so why worry about it? I just don't think that deep into everything because it's something that you're not able to control, so why put energy into something you can't control?" Joe Flacco praised Sanders' quick decision-making during a sideline interview. He said, "I think he's doing a good job tonight. The thing, I'm kind of happy he's doing it. He's getting the ball out of his hands early in the down. He's also been able to show he can move around a little bit, but I think when he has had to get the ball out of his hands, he has done that. Sanders' performance generated widespread attention across social media. Former NFL receiver DEZ Bryant posted, "Sanders belong, I like his aura."
The Cleveland Browns quarterback battle just took a shocking turn. Shedeur Sanders delivered a stunning performance against the first-team defense on his very first opportunity. Now experts are buzzing, players are taking notice, and some are even saying he's earned a spot with the starters. But here's what makes this development particularly significant for Myles Garrett and the Browns defense. They might have just witnessed their future franchise quarterback in action. Sanders faced off against the first-team defense for the first time and looked like he belonged at the highest level. According to 92.3, The Fan's Nick Padone, the Browns may be holding Sanders back deliberately. Doesn't it feel like that they've got the training wheels on Shedeur Sanders? If he balls out in preseason, the Browns are not going to be able to continue Hyde, Padone wrote. The limited opportunities haven't stopped Sanders from making an impact. Things have reportedly gotten so restricted for Sanders in camp that he's occasionally been forced to throw to staff members during practice. This indicates just how few real reps he's been receiving with the actual team. Former NFL cornerback Asante Samuel Sr. highlighted Sanders' efficiency during a recent podcast episode. He goes out there and does something like he did today. 9 for 9, 2 touchdowns, 32 other teams are watching, Samuel said. Oh man, this might be the first time we see in history that something bizarre happens where a team tries to make a trade for him like the New Orleans Saints. Nick Wright made his stance crystal clear, stating that Shedeur Sanders deserved to be the starter. Wright wasn't just impressed by Sanders' talent, he also pointed out the competition Sanders was facing against quarterbacks like Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Joe Flacco. Wright's assessment of Kenny Pickett was particularly harsh. Wright argued,
because he has found himself with Kenny Pickett, who is not an NFL quarterback. Flatly not an NFL quarterback. We have seen it every chance he's had, every opportunity he's had to play.
He stated that Pickett had already been given ample opportunities to prove himself, but failed to convince anyone he was franchise quarterback material. As for Joe Flacco, Wright dismissed him outright. Despite Flacco's Super Bowl pedigree, Wright believed Flacco no longer had what it took to be a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Flacco, who I just think if you're the Browns, what are you doing? Why?
Unless they think they can actually make the playoffs.
Wright also addressed Dillon Gabriel, acknowledging the young quarterback's potential, but pointing out his size as a significant limitation. While Gabriel couldn't control his stature, Wright believed it wasn't going to be enough to elevate him to the starting role. Wright dug into the stats from the training sessions, acknowledging that while they might not hold much weight in the grand scheme, they couldn't be ignored. Every time those numbers came up, Sanders was either at the top or outshining the other quarterbacks. Whether it was completion percentage, decision-making, or overall efficiency, Sanders consistently stood out.
Yeah.
And the fact that whatever those training camp stats are worth, and maybe it's next to nothing, it's not nothing, and it's not 0% that they're worth, and every time we show him, he's at least in line with everybody. And so I just think
generally better.
I think there is.
ESPN's Mike Tannenbaum also believes Sanders is the best option to start. Guys, Shedeur Sanders, this is a no-brainer. I want you to take some copious notes here. Since 2000, there's only been 6 quarterbacks start a game under 6 feet tall. That's Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, PJ Walker, Seneca Wallace, and Doug Flutie. Exactly. So, to me, even though Dillon Gabriel went in the 3rd round, I would start Shedeur Sanders. Let them fight it out on the field. But to me, Shedeur Sanders has the better pro body and more upside. Tannenbaum said on Get Up. Chris Broussard weighed in, urging the Browns to take a serious look at what Sanders could bring to the table this season. Broussard didn't hold back, calling for the Browns to put Sanders in and let him prove what he could do in real-game situations. According to Broussard, if Sanders shows what he's capable of, he could very well be the franchise quarterback Cleveland's been searching for. Broussard didn't mince words when it came to Dillon Gabriel. He made it crystal clear Gabriel wasn't the Browns' answer at quarterback.